those of us with a military background know very well how this works. It's psychological operations, it's co-intel, it's literally fifth column. So they've come down and in the first 3 weeks there was no violence, no criminal activity, not a single arrest of any protesters except for the first night. But then all of a sudden we got flooded by all these waifs and strays, which is happening to all of the occupiers, and you have to wonder, are they being sent? But what we did do, excuse me, is we didn't turn them away, we didn't look down our noses at them, we didn't judge them. In fact, the only time I look down on someone is when I'm helping them up. So we identify with them, we try and figure out what their disorders are, and we've got a welfare tent to try and help them out. But most of them don't want a welfare tent, they want their drugs, they want their drink, or they want to push for their dog. You know, the dog we can do, the food we can do, you know, the drugs and the drink, it's not such a big thing. But ironically enough, that's when all the arrests and complaints started from both the protesters and the local shops, because of course the waifs and strays were robbing the shops, whereas we've not been robbing the shops, so it makes it look like we've been robbing the shops. It looks bad on us. We're just the British public, you know. I mean, I work for them, I've got a job, you know, but I've taken 3 months off to do this, and my boss is like, yeah, go, because he's only got a small firm. I mean, if his company fails, he ain't gonna get bailed out, you know. So his attitude's the same as mine. But so for about 2 more weeks there, you had loads of arrests, loads of drunks, loads of druggies, loads of disorder, all good enough to document for this court case. Yeah? So once they got all the documentation that they're now using, the corporation are now using in court, what was all the drugs got? It was like they bust them in. Bust them in, got the crimes, bust them out. There you go, Your Honour, these are bad people. You know, so, I mean, there's been a lot to destabilise the town. But sadly, the church isn't really, it isn't living up to its promises, and that's a bit of a shame, and I should be out here with a few banners later to annoy them, just to remind them. I've got a video on YouTube that I'm trying to get, if anyone knows where I can get an industrial projector, I'd like to set it up here and project this video onto the front of St Paul's Cathedral in the next couple of days, because it is a message directly to the Bishop of London. Yeah, and it's literally from Anonymous UK questioning why they haven't come through on the 2 promises they've made so far, and if they haven't come through on the first one, does that mean they're lying about opening the doors should violence be used against us? I mean, obviously none of these people want to see violence, and to be honest, we're the British public, this is a thoroughly British protest, there will be no violence. Even the police are coming up going, you're the best behaved protesters we've ever seen. You know, it's like, well, because we're not here to cause it, we're not waving banners in people's faces. All over Christmas there were people queuing to go into St Paul's, and we were just chatting with them. You know, we weren't waving banners saying, oh, you're the 1%, you're the 1%. It doesn't work like that in Britain. But the problem we've got is that the wheels of justice may grind slowly, but we are under no illusion that we will lose. You know, we will lose. Like, you can't beat the corporation in court because they keep making the laws. The more laws they make, the easier it is for them to trample all over us. So they make laws that are to the detriment of the people, but to the benefit of corporations. So they will get rid of us, but Occupy will spring up left and right. But if the church are going to remain on this fence without making another statement, or without reaffirming their position to the people, then maybe Anonymous might have to look a little bit closer at the sponsors, and really, is the cathedral a money-making venture now?